Hi, Georgina.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Nice to see you. I'd asked Georgina to share her story, which some few of you may have already heard, but it's a very striking story, and only people who had come to my house for the gatherings that we had there, the small gatherings, would have heard it. So Debbie may have heard it and so on. But this is a very striking story, and it's also very symbol. It encapsulates what the SRTLFs and the whole system is about, which is the return to love. It's nothing more than that and nothing less than that. So, Georgina, will you tell us the story?
Yes. It's just basically me. I have three children, and in 2017, me and my husband decided to separate. And initially, it was okay, and then he got very angry and about the whole situation. So while he was looking for somewhere else to live, he's had to share a house, and they were like the worst 3 weeks ever. And he just became very verbally abusive, which was never before, and threatening behaviour before he moved out. So my son moved out with him. He was 15 at the time, and it was very hostile between both places. Me and my daughters were here, and my son was with his dad. So none of us were speaking when we were. It was very, well, he was very abusive towards me. So anyway, that was in about July. And then my daughter had been given the panic to calm because she suffered from panic attacks. So when she noticed how it was helping her depressive moods, we decided to look into having more. So we bought the Return to Loves, and she noticed a shift in herself towards her feelings towards her dad and her brother, because that was not very good at all. And then just before Christmas, she decided that she wanted to buy the wellness stone for her dad. Up until that point, they hadn't been speaking at all. And so I thought that was really significant change on her part. So I bought the wellness stone, and she bought the wellness stone for her dad, and she bought the male interview one for her brother because he was having exams at the time. So this was a week before Christmas. We went down, and they both said that they would wear them full time and give it a go. And then a week later, my son and his dad had a huge row, and on Christmas Day, and he came back to live with me. And I felt really, really bad for my ex-husband because I knew how heartbreaking it had been for my son to leave me. So now he was leaving him. So me and my daughter went down and comforted my ex on Christmas Day, knowing how bad it was. And that was a significant change considering how dark a place we had gone to. So that was a big change. And then we just noticed weeks later how my son was coming round and less hostile towards me, and I just let him be him. I didn't push anything, and I just noticed a shift in the energy between all of us, and we were all starting to talk and communicate in a softer way. And as the weeks went on, then we were just like we had been before, and so that, and since then, like me and my ex, we've not had harsh words really since, and we're going through an amicable divorce at the moment. And but the other thing I had used, once I'd seen how good the RTLFs had done for the relationship between all of us as a family. My son was going through exams and he hadn't been studying much at all. So I decided to write down an affirmation that, he did really well in his exams, and because he basically only had about 3 months to study for them. So he doesn't study past 8 o'clock at night. So he wasn't that determined as I would hope he would have been. So the day the exam results came out, they weren't the best, but he passed everything. And I just said, well, I'm going to email the college because he didn't get what he needed, and email the college and just see if there's any way that they would accept him. So the next day, the college phoned him up and offered him a place where he wanted to do what he wanted to do. It was the only course he was interested in. And so when I went back to my bit of paper and I was phoning my sister Elaine on the phone, and I said, oh, I suppose I can get rid of this bit of paper now. So when I opened it up, I had forgotten that I had written that he'd done really well in his exams, but also that he was offered the college place that he wanted. And when I saw that, I just started to cry, and I thought, oh my God, that's the miracle in this, that he got what he wanted, you know, even though he shouldn't have been offered it, he would. And now he's in his second year and he loves it. And yeah, so it's, and we still get on really well together. And so it's not only just been good for the relationships, but it's helped him out on his exams. And yeah, so I'm trying them out on my youngest daughter at the moment. She's an emotional, very emotional child. So I put little, you know, those support bandages on her, and I have her hold the SRTLFs, and she does that when she's with me. So we'll just wait and see if that will have her more balanced in her emotions, because she's turning 8 next week. So yeah. Oh, and there was another story I had. My boss and I did, well, my boss didn't seem to like me very much. I've never had a problem with bosses before. And she did everything to try and put me down and intimidate. And it was the worst relationship. I just went into a complete shell of myself, and just was basically mute at work, not myself at all. And then she went away on a secondment and came back. And I thought, well, I can either run or I can deal with it. So I decided to write an affirmation on that I loved her and I forgave her for what she'd put me through previously. I had the stones on me going to work. I was so upset the first day going, I was crying. And then it was a staff meeting day, and I was holding on to the SRTLFs as I was looking at her, and I was blessing her with love and telling her in my head how much I loved her and whatever. And within a few weeks, the difference was phenomenal. I couldn't get over how much nicer she was to me. And now that's about 2 years ago now, and we get on great. I send her jokes on WhatsApp, and we laugh and joke, and that's amazing, because that's a work relationship between two headstrong women, and then just my marriage one then as well, and then with my son. So in 3 different places, significant places, it has, you know, just turned things completely around. So.
And she apologized, remember?
Oh yes, she did. She didn't directly apologize. She apologized through somebody else. And I just thought, yeah, you know, that's good enough for me. You know, you've acknowledged what you've done. And I just released that energy, and I just wholeheartedly then took her into my, you know, whatever you call it, into my friendship as such. And we get on great now. And the fact that we text each other jokes is is, you know, phenomenal, really. So
That's just with 2 little pieces of glass.
I know.
How astounding is that, and how wonderful is that, and how ridiculous is that?
Yes. So thank you.
Thank you.